back to Asim Sekai. Today we're gonna be doing our favorite portion, our favorite segment. You know, it's just Moto and I. So you know it's One Piece talk, One Piece time.
Yay.
We're talking about One Piece, the chapter
Manga.
1097, the manga. Yes, you're right. The manga. 1097 that just came out last week. We're waiting for 1098 right now. For those who do not recall, we're gonna first do the recap, what it was, and then Moto is gonna carry it on with everything else that this chapter revealed. So make sure you like and subscribe, stick around, and we're gonna get diving into this. So 1095-96 was when God Valley was technically introduced after Saturn the Gorso came, and Luffy is broken down, beaten down, whatever you call it. And then it went into God's Valley, and we see young Kuma, who happens to be a buccaneer. And we find out that the God's Valley, the tournament is to hunt rabbits, which are basically other races, and it's a tournament that the celestial dragons hold, and it's like the God's Night participating, and the biggest trophies are these treasure boxes that actually have devil fruits, which one of them happened to be Kaido's and Kuma's powers, which we find out. So a lot of stuff happened. I think 1096 probably is the best chapter in One Piece till date from manga's perspective, but now we're talking about 1097, the aftermath of 1096. So Moto, 1097.
Yeah, 1097 continues with the flashback of Kuma once they go back to the Sorbet Kingdom, and I guess this is where we start to find
Before
how
he becomes
Kuma,
a king.
Yeah, how he becomes the king. And then the most important thing on this chapter was the clear functioning of Kuma's devil fruit power, which he's able to take the pain away from people, but he have to absorb it, which kind of...
Congratulations, bro. You were right about that too.
You were too.
I know,
but like,
we just know stuff.
you know, it's interesting because like now it puts it into perspective, because like one of the coolest moment in One Piece, I think it's the Zoro nothing happened scene. Right, it's one of the classic moments.
It's foreshadowing.
Yeah, it was a foreshadow to Kuma, and what's insane about Kuma is he does it every week on Sunday, and he doesn't tell it. Yeah, once a week. No one knows about it except Ginny, who, by the way, proposed to Kuma, and he's terrified of, his buccaneer blood and what that means.
Was his dad?
His
dad died protecting him.
Yeah, dad, same thing. He was the buccaneer, which resulted in him become enslaved and then ultimately getting killed. The fears pretty much instilled into him, so he doesn't want to share that fear into Ginny, and which again we could start to discuss a little bit more detail about Bonny because of this, because I don't know if this is intentional or there's logic behind this specific moment where she's proposing, and clearly you see that Ginny is in love with Kuma.
Okay.
But I think at the end was 14 years before the current time, where we find out Ginny is a captain of the Revolutionary Army, but it sounds and feels like she still hasn't had a kid. And she's almost a different squadron than Kuma. So this is an interesting chapter, and tragic setup is the feeling I'm getting with this chapter. So
tragic setup only because we know what happens.
Yeah,
the thing I think you missed on is the most important premise of this entire chapter, which is the two kingdoms. The king that is cold and he's a puppet for the celestial dragons. He's basically kisses their ass. So they display how he treats other people, and their plan was to overrule and get just tax everybody, get more money, and give it to the celestial dragons. But also the fact that Kuma ended up being a huge fanboy for Dragon.
Yes, a huge fanboy.
A huge fanboy. So, and especially with how everything transpired towards the end, when they got jailed, all of them got jailed.
Yes, he fought. Yeah,
and then Ivankov comes.
Yes.
And it was the whole
Yeah.
moment. Yeah, and it was the whole moment how. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this one important thing in this chapter, but I like how they ended it with Kuma and Ginny becoming part of the Revolutionary Army. I really like the little panel that they showed with just young dragon being there, but he doesn't have the tattoo yet. So
Yeah, that's the big conversation as well.
so does he have his dragon fruit power? Does he have does he have fruit power as well? Devil fruit, yeah. Nobody knows. No one knows right now.
Nobody knows. Does Ivankov have her power?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. So it is very interesting what we're about to see happen. But yeah, it's I actually love this chapter. It is a flashback, so there is like a lot of depressing themes as always.
At the
with
end
One
of the
Piece.
chapter, when Dragon says Ginny's captured, he does have his tattoo. So I don't understand this. Oh, 14 years ago. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
so
it's a
25
time
years
lapse.
ago, they joined the Revolutionary Army. 14 years ago, he had his... So, okay, in that time span, so we know when something happened to make him get the tattoo. So
I think the question is it because of the Revolutionary Army that he got the tattoo, or is it because of Devil Fruit power that he got the tattoo? Right? Like, there's a lot of,
it's symbolic.
different.
There's a reason for him to do it. I mean, he clearly, when the army was already established, you could see he doesn't have it. And to get a clear picture, when him and Kuma are actually talking, and Kuma goes, "You can rely on me, Dragon," and then you see Dragon's face in the panel. He said, "You won't regret joining us." Right. And then after that, 8 years pass, and we see Captain of the Revolution Army, Eastern Force, Ginny, eating a chicken, I guess, chicken bone, and she's happy.
Meat.
Yes, of course, meat. And then at the end, you see Dragon saying, Ginny's been captured. He's more like questioning it.
Yeah, she's been captured. Who do you think captured her?
I think it's Gorse. I think Saturn. For some reason, I just feel like we've been seeing a lot of Saturn, and we've just been getting a lot of hints from him. Like, we saw him at the end of panel with Luffy. We saw him versus Kuma. Clearly, Saturn has a relationship already with Kuma, and Bonny is no different. So I think the main antagonist for this arc right now is Saturn.
Yeah, Saturn. Yeah, without a doubt. I think the big incident that's supposed to happen at Egg Island, I'm guessing Saturn does get defeated based off this whole setup, right? Like,
there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of rumors that are out there that Kuma is rushing to a destination. It could also be that he probably senses this path happening, and that he felt like Saturn might be coming, and his daughter's probably in danger. Whatever it could be. It could be Oda just having fun, but we do know based on the evidence, and Oda doesn't leave much room for questions. He actually answers all the questions pretty damn fast. So Kuma is obviously in a rush to get somewhere, and Bonny is with Saturn. Now, what do we know about Bonny's power besides the fact that she can transform herself and her surrounding and objects into
It's AJ's fruit. Yeah, that's her fruit, right? AJ's
so
fruit,
it is like Kuma's, but in a different way. Kuma's takes away pain. Pain basically pop off. It can take away a person's pain. He could transport somewhere. He has I really like how they did that, because they have a lot of similarities with other fruits like Law, his room, and all that shit. You could basically say it's almost similar to Kuma's in terms of OP and the power, the way they use it.
And the way they design it is very similar. I think the question, I think when Bonny went into Kuma's paw to learn about the past, I think that triggered Kuma to react and go towards the Egghead Island. Right?
Okay.
But I think the big question mark I have is, who is Bonny? Right?
What do you mean?
Exactly, who is Bonny? Because if this setup feels like Ginny is captured, right? This is her demise coming up, right?
So Bonny could be a clone of Ginny, and she just doesn't know it. She just thinks she might be a child. But we've seen young Bonnie, but then she did change and but she has the AJ fruit, so. But we don't know what Ginny has. What a fruit if Ginny has.
Ginny doesn't. I don't think she has a fruit.
So, but we're gonna. So, based on this, let's just say Bonnie actually is a human child, or she was born from Kuma and Ginny. Let's just say she is, because let's play with both theories. First, let's play with the fact that she actually exists.
I think there's three.
Okay, let's play with three theories. Let's play with the first one, the most obvious, and I think
mother, father.
Yeah, and then Bonnie is the child. I think it plays in part because we do see Ginny here, and she looks different than Bonnie. Almost similar, and Oda definitely has a thing for big tits. It's so obvious now that tiny vase, big tits. I don't think it's
that's the time skip enhancement.
Always, bro. The puberty hits these girls so hard that is legit like hard, whatever. So we already know Oda's fixation and whatever, bro. I have no quarrel with that. But I think Bonnie is her own individual character, the daughter of Kuma. I really feel that Kuma is coming towards her to protect. There's going to be some moments. I think Saturn is going to be defeated by Kuma. It's just got to be full circle. And we'll get more of a flashback when Kuma was facing Saturn.
I don't think Kuma will defeat Saturn. I think it's a combination.
What if he blows up? What if he's the android and he captures and blows up? Self-destruction.
No, I think it's a combination of, like, Kuma also needs to be freed, right? He's going to die. Like, he's in the process of dying, right?
Basically,
I feel like he needs to see Nika almost. Like, he needs to be liberated that way as well. Like, I feel like. And also, like, I think...
Oh, so like, he basically dying protecting Nika. But I think he's going to understand it.
Yeah, he has to. I think he's gonna get back his like sentient knowledge and sees Nika, right? But I think he's gonna help Nika more so than actually the one that does the final blow to Saturn. I still feel like Luffy has to save everybody to really get that.
I don't know. I don't know about that right now. I think the way I see this is. I think Kuma is the one going to be saving Luffy again. He already saved him once. I think it's going to be again. And this time Luffy understands him and he's like, you did this again. You saved me once again. I think Luffy is going to understand that he is still not there and he has to take it seriously. Because last time when Kuma saved him, he basically evolved into what he is right now. Or what led to all the events transpired.
Haki enhancement, enhancement.
And like his Conqueror Haki, the whole Ace moment, the whole like Impel Down arc and everything. Like basically that led to because of Kuma. Kuma clearly saw the path. I think like I really feel a time lapse is needed for this show to progress.
I feel that as well. For the rest of the Straw Hat to get
and the world to burn for a little bit. The world has to burn for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that it would trigger some kind of a war.
You think it's a shonen flaw that we're talking about?
What?
That we know that evolution is needed and the world is gonna suffer like how Wano did. Because Wano is basically one of the most ancient historic islands in history of One Piece.
Right.
That basically submerged and hid its secrets, and the wall was created, and the rain, whatever it is, and it's protecting the greatest or one of the greatest treasures that can technically destroy the world.
Yeah, one of the ancient weapons is there. But we have to go back to the whole Bonnie. Like you said. There's two, right? So the other one is the clone theory, right?
Yeah, so which we've seen a lot with surf films and everything.
But I have one more now.
But are you saying that Vegapunk already created a clone back then? I mean, he was...
No, so that's where my third one comes in. It's based off her name is Bonnie, which is you take Bartholomew and B-O kind of, there's a couple O's there, Barthol. And Ginny combined to reference it's a kid, but it could be that it's in like a test tube or something. It's
test
like
baby?
lab created. Yeah, like lab created almost. It's a potential, right?
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly. And then there's another part I was thinking about. I think it was Grand Line Review when anime shows. This was like 30 chapters ago when he first introduced Vegapunks in their satellite. There's one that's wearing a mask, and there's the one that's always wearing a mask is always a curiosity. Like, who is that?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's Ginny.
But how could it be? Because Ginny, we saw the masked dude in God Valley.
No, not that mask, brother. The
Which
mask
one?
of Satellite, Vegapunk Satellite. The first Vegapunk one.
I think I need to go back and check it.
Yeah, remember the six Vegapunks?
Yeah.
Yeah, one was the trader. The first one with the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the second one, Lilith, at the very beginning. She was the first introduction to Vegapunk, but she was number 2. And then she was, not Stera, but what's the... Pythagoras, and then like all the other Vegapunk. The first one has a helmet that covers he or she's face with the number 01. I am curious. I'm now back on the like a train of like, I wonder who that is actually. Like, is it really dead, or it's still alive and we get to see the full reveal later on that it's Ginny is still there. Like I'm just that's like the whole like loop. That would be kind of too happy for One Piece, maybe.
I see. I am going towards the tragic aspect, and I really think I think she's an android. I think the whole Vegapunk, his androids. I think that's just a separate one. We've seen like androids like her in like Eden Zero and other places. So I'm gonna just leave it to that because clearly, whatever I've been thinking so far, Oda has just been like, ha! Your naive mind, here's something to cry about. So I'm just gonna assume on some stuff we actually got right, and keep it that way. Let him do the more storytelling aspect because there's a lot of things happening. One, that fucking robot from 600 years ago is awakened, whatever.
800? Yeah. That has to come and play. That's what I'm saying.
Because it's
Luffy
right here.
Will, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Luffy will win.
So, but we don't know what part that robot plays. Does it work for the Gorosei? Did it activate when the Gorosei was coming?
No. I think that
we don't even know how old the Gorosei are. Like, there's so much fucking mystery that we can.
I mean, you're probably right that it turned on when the Gorosei came. I do agree with that notion that it's a combination thing to help Nika. But it's different for Nika. We
don't know. What if this was created many years ago using some sort of technology that's not on our side? I mean, we're not.
It has to be.
Oh, look at the Seraphims. The Seraphims came in and they basically.
That's a new technology, though. A giant, I think, is on the side of Luffy and the Nikas.
I hope so. You know, I'm team
Luffy. Every I think unique race, I think, is on the Nika side.
Well,
right?
yeah, because Nika is the warrior of liberation.
Just accept it. Whoever, like fishman to giant to buccaneers to like everybody. So I think that giant
Nika just wants meat.
Yes, exactly. Which is like every time I see Ginny, it's like, is there another root connection to Luffy? Like Ginny is Luffy's somehow like maybe a dragon else topping Ginny.
Well, we're gonna get our questions answered fairly soon because the chapter comes out in the next few days, so spoilers are gonna be popping up any moment now. So before the spoilers pop up, assumptions.
Well, I agree with you that it's the Gorosei.
Just chapter 1098, just for that.
Yeah, 1098. So I think the tragic incident that leads to Kuma becoming a warlord or pacifista or 00 is, I think we're going to be seeing that. I think it's probably some kind of trade with Ginny. And then obviously we're gonna find out about Bonnie, who she is really, and the reveal. And damn, as soon as I started talking to you about this whole Ginny Dragon dynamics is starting to look also curious too.
What do you mean?
I mean, if Ginny was rejected by Kuma like 20 years ago, Dragon like 14. This is 14 years before. That means Luffy's already born.
So you think Ginny is Luffy's mom?
I'm kind of slowly going back to that, and as well as Bonnie will be clone or something of Ginny. Is that a possibility?
Damn, now you open another floodgate, bro.
Because like we saw Kuma say no.
No, it's not that. Because at the last panel you see 14 years ago, and then like you look excited, Ginny-san, and she goes, is that obvious? Can you blame me though? We're so
That's
close
true.
to the day where we get to link up with Kumachi's squadron. I'm so happy I can hardly breathe. And then the two guys say, Captain Kuma, that lucky dog, he won the heart of the lady we all
true.
admire. So theory
Yeah,
off.
that's true.
Good theory.
Yeah,
But would have answered it.
No, yeah, he did answer it right there, didn't he? Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
Theory gone. So 1098, I care. I think it's straight up, we're just getting answers to how the tragedy of the pacifista that is Kuma became. So
Yeah. I think that's
I am just waiting for 1100. I'm waiting for 1100 because
Why?
because Oda and the numbers, he is going to deliver his freaking grand.
Okay, so give us the double page image of chapter 1100.
Saturn dying.
I say it's the fucking giant that Nika is using to knock the fuck out of Saturn.
Saturn. All right, we both in agreement. Saturn's dying.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
All
That's
right.
that's it for me.
Me and Moto agree.
You ran my fucking theory. Damn it! I want to know who Luffy's mom is.
We all do. I mean, if anybody else that's watching knows who Luffy's mom is, let us know. Let us know the secret. We're patiently waiting. Chapter 1098 is coming out this week. More answers about the tragedy of the Buccaneer race, Kuma, the last pacifista, the clone of the Seraphims, every single thing revolving around this dude, revolving around Ginny, revolving around Luffy's dad. All the secrets are coming out. We're almost towards the end of Egghead, and then Elbaf is soon coming. So make sure you like and subscribe. We will be back for more One Piece fans. We're cheering our Nakamas forever. So anything else, Moto, before we sign off?
No, man, can't wait.
Peace!